You don't need to be great on camera. You need to be useful on camera. Stop thinking, I need to create content. Start thinking, I'm answering a question for one person. I'm Clint, and this is Creativity That Converts, the show where we unpack the art and strategy of using video to grow your business. This is the space to learn what's working, what's changing, and how to create content that really connects. No fluff, no ego, just real talk that gets results. Welcome to Creativity That Converts. There's a moment almost every agent has had. You know, video would probably help your marketing. You know you've got things worth saying. You even thought about what you might record, and then you go and hit record, but you don't, or you do, and it just doesn't come out the way you expected. And the thought that usually follows this is, I just don't like being on camera. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because this is one of the most common objections in real estate. And it's also one of the most misunderstood, because most people think the problem is confidence. It's not a confidence problem. If it was a confidence problem, you wouldn't be able to do your job. You explain things to clients every day. You walk into homes, you run meetings, you negotiate, you handle difficult conversations. You're already confident in those environments. So the issue isn't your ability to speak. It's the environment that you're speaking in. Because the moment the camera turns on, something changes. You're no longer reacting. You're performing. And that's where things start to feel unnatural. So what is the real problem? Well, you're trying to create while you speak. And this is the part most people don't realize. When you don't like being on camera, it's usually because you're trying to do two things at once. You're trying to think about what to say and also say it clearly at the same time. And that's hard, even for experienced speakers, because your brain is splitting focus between creating the idea and structuring the message and delivering it all in real time. So what comes out feels slower, less clear, less like you, and then you watch it back and it just reinforces the belief of, I'm just not good on camera. But that's not the real issue. The issue is you're trying to build your message while you're delivering it. So what's the shift we need to make? Well, how about we decide before we hit record what we want to create? This is where things get easier. Instead of trying to be good on camera, you focus on being clear before the camera even turns on. And that means you need to know, what's the point of this video? Who is it for? What do I want them to understand? Once those things are clear, the pressure drops, because now you're not inventing, you're explaining. And explaining is something you already do well. You need to think conversation, not content. This is one of the simplest ways to change how video feels. Stop thinking, I need to create content. Start thinking, I'm answering a question for one person. Because the moment you imagine a real person, your tone changes, your pace changes, your language changes. You stop performing and you start explaining. And that's the difference. So why do scripts actually help you sound more natural? Well, this is where a lot of people get it backwards. They avoid scripting because they think it will make them sound robotic. But most of the time, actually does the opposite, because a good script doesn't try to make you sound like a presenter. It helps you organize your thoughts, remove the rambling, and keep your explanation clear. So instead of trying to figure it out while you're talking, you already know the path, and when you know the path, you relax. And when you relax, you sound more like yourself. The first few videos will feel strange though, and that's normal. This part does matter. You don't get comfortable on camera before you start. You get comfortable because you start. Every agent who looks natural on video has gone through that phase where it felt unnatural. That's not a sign you shouldn't be doing it. It's a sign that you're early in the process. So what do you say when you don't know what to say? Well, if you're ever stuck, start here. Pick one question you get asked all the time and answer it. That's it. No 10 points, not a full strategy, not a perfect script, just one clear explanation. Because that's where most good videos come from. Not trying to impress people, but trying to help someone understand something. That's the bigger reframe. You don't need to be great on camera. You need to be useful on camera, because people watching your content aren't judging your delivery the way you think they are. They're asking themselves one question: did this help me understand something? And if the answer is yes, the video has done its job. If you think about everything we've talked about across the last few episodes, building authority, owning an area, structuring your videos properly, or creating content that builds trust before the conversations, none of that works if you never hit record. So this isn't about becoming a content creator. It's about removing the friction that stops you from sharing what you already know. That's it for episode 33. If you're unsure where video could support your marketing, or you want help structuring what you say so it actually feels natural on camera, feel free to book a strategy call. I'd love to chat. We can talk through your audience, your messaging, and how to make video feel like something you can actually sustain. All the details are in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.